When it comes to video games, death is rarely permanent. No matter how many bottomless pits you fall down or enemy bullets you run into, you can usually continue right where you left off and not have to deal with any of the real consequences of dying. That's not the case when it comes to the new game Arise, a simple story, an adventure that takes place entirely in one old hero's afterlife. This is a deep and emotionally rich journey that just so happens to be my newest Switch obsession. Hello, citizens of Switch Planet, my name is Cyril, and today I want to tell you about this incredibly moving game and how it changed me as a person. This is my take on the definitive version of Arise, and make sure to stick around until the end of the video for information on how you can save money on this game, as well as other must-own releases from our friends over at Untold Tales. There are no more continues left for the old man at the center of Arise, a simple story. He's come to the end of his life, and what you're looking at right now is his funeral. But as it turns out, there's no rest for this old-timer, not even in death. Just as his lifetime journey ends, a brand new adventure begins. This is the story of an old man trying to find peace in the afterlife, all while taking us on a memory-filled trip through the best and worst moments of his life. At its core, Arise is a puzzle platformer designed around manipulating time. You see, one of the cool things about exploring the afterlife is that our hero is able to fast-forward and rewind time around him, something that he'll use to move objects into place and construct platforms that'll take him from one memory to the next. In one level, it'll take the form of snow accumulating over time. Some areas will require you to fast forward until you have enough snow to reach the next platform, while other parts of the level will have you rewind time until there's barely any snow on the ground. This is also how you'll contend with enemies. While not especially aggressive, our hero will quickly discover that there are shadow figures lurking throughout the afterlife. The good news is that these characters will disappear in the light, so all you need to do is fast forward or rewind time until the light is hitting that exact right spot in the level. What's fun is that these shadow figures will also disappear in the fire, creating these incredible moments where we're literally harnessing the sheer magnitude of a forest fire in order to get our way through the level safely. Now, beyond just moving time forwards and backwards with the analog stick, we'll also be able to slow the passage of time by the push of a button. This is perfect for a moment when all you need to do is use a falling boulder as a temporary platform. There's something almost magical about stopping time at just the right moment, and I was constantly amazed by the clever ways the developers are able to work this into the level designs. Half of the fun of every stage is just playing around with the timeline to see what happens. Of course, this time gimmick wouldn't matter all that much if the levels weren't already fun to explore. At first glance, the stages seem fairly straightforward and linear. After all, the game is great about pointing you in the right direction and keeping you on track. However, the closer you look, the more out-of-the-way paths you'll discover. These hidden areas are filled with memories to collect, something that'll help to fill in the story and to explain who this old man used to be. The paths also do a great job of showing you just how ingenious the time manipulation can be. Look, this is a game that knows that you've played a lot of 3D platformers before, and I appreciate that they find new ways to evolve this aging formula. As a platformer, Arise doesn't bite off more than it can chew. Aside from playing with time, we're largely limited to just running and jumping. Occasionally, you'll have to climb up the side of a wall or swing from one area to the next. And there are also parts of the game where the old man can get swept away by a strong gust of wind. This simple approach helps to keep the puzzles focused on the time mechanic and never overwhelms the player. It helps that the platforming is precise and the controls are tight. You'll run into a lot of precarious obstacles and locations, and yet I was able to conquer it all thanks to the great gameplay. From the moment I saw the time manipulation and the simple platforming, I knew that I was going to enjoy this game. What I didn't expect was to fall in love with the story. This is a perfect demonstration of visual storytelling. We learn so much about the hero's life and death through non-verbal cinemas. The levels are littered with statues highlighting an important memory for the old man, and I couldn't help but get emotionally invested in experiencing these moments in time. And that's the thing that elevates this already great 3D platformer to a whole new level. I couldn't stop thinking about the memories and the story that were being told. It touched me on a personal level, and it left me absolutely speechless. Some memories are happy, some are joyous, some are funny. Yet at the same time, some are sad, tragic, and utterly heartbreaking. It's the kind of game that will remind you of what's important in life and how fleeting our time ultimately is. And yet, it's never sappy or manipulative. The emotional moments are well earned and perfectly play into the themes and designs of the levels that they're in. And it's this variety of both levels and emotion that kept this game going. It never dwells on a memory or mood for too long, allowing the stage designs to constantly reinvent themselves. This is a game that can be fun and playful when it needs to be, yet dark and gloomy when appropriate. And that's both through the visuals and the storytelling. The type of platforming we're doing shifts radically from one stage to the next, and I never knew what was going to come next. In that sense, Arise does an excellent job of keeping players on their feet. Even if you think you know where things are going, there's some clever twists along the way that'll subvert your expectations. And again, all of this is conveyed without dialogue. Although it's using a somewhat simple art style, Arise is a game filled with stunning moments and inventive levels. Every step of the journey is unique looking, with some areas full of vibrant colors, while others are almost monochromatic. We see so much emotion conveyed through the character animations, and I couldn't help but fall in love with the stylish levels and relaxing soundtrack. Even after completing this game, I wanted to go back and find all those lost memories and just relive my favorite moments. And what's great about this game is you actually can go back and experience the adventure all over again with a friend, thanks to the co-op mode. This sounds like the perfect way to play the game, and I love that there's an option for 2 players. It's also worth noting that this definitive edition comes with a 110-page art book, an 18-track original soundtrack, custom photo mode, and even gyroscope support. You know, if you want to go beyond using the analog sticks. All of this adds up to an amazing package that absolutely needs to be played. Don't let the somewhat dour subject matter fool you, because Arise, a simple story, is a gorgeous game that celebrates every single aspect of life, even the heartbreaking moments. Arise, a simple story definitive edition, is available right now over at the eShop, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Best of all, if you pick it up right now, you'll be able to save 50% on the $19.99 asking price. And that's just one of several games from Untold Tales that is currently on sale. You'll also find the Hong Kong Massacre for up to 85% off, which is a killer deal if you love shoot-'em-ups or John Woo movies. Other games include Beautiful Desolation for up to 90% off, and Golf Club Wasteland for up to 70% off, as well as Aspire Ina's Tale for 50% off, and What Lies in the Multiverse for 35% off. Let me tell you, What Lies in the Multiverse is incredible. It's absolutely one of my favorite games of the year. You can get all these games at steep discounts, but you better hurry, because you might be able to control time in Arise, but this sale won't last forever.
Okay everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you liked that video, please leave a like and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to get notified when we release new content. We hope to see you in the next video.